Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for Yamaha Boat Company's Find Winning Success. Here is just a little bit about the Yamaha divisions that are represented today. As the team members walk us through each scenario, they'll delve a little bit deeper into the nuances of their particular division and challenges. Speaking of the Yamaha team, here are all of the players without whom we wouldn't have a terrific story to share today. So without further delay, I will transition us over.
Yamaha has their three boat companies currently running on QAD. The QAD environment consists of three separate instances of QAD running for jet boats, G3, and Skeeter. There's approximately 250 users. We are on version 2014 SE. We are on the 2014 SE version of QAD, so it's an older version. It is not the Enterprise Edition, so we don't have much of the integration that the Enterprise Edition might have. So a lot of the transactions that we need to do are labor intensive, especially if there's a lot of transactions, which takes much of our users' time. That's also gives opportunity for mistakes, re-entering data from spreadsheets into the system. We have developed a few sim load processes over the years where we're able to take data from spreadsheets and load them into QAD, but this requires an IT person to be involved, moving the data to shared drives and actually running the processes of the sim loader and verifying that it functions properly. Again, another time-consuming effort, not something that's in the user's control. It, again, gets pulled out and put into IT's control. One of the issues that I'm aware of is that when there's a change to the production bill of material or something, that if a part has to be changed out, this is a labor-intensive process and requires many hours, possibly days worth of work to update all of the different bills of material. Implementing the 32 soft data loader for this has saved tremendous amount of time and made the turnaround very effective.
Yeah, I can speak to the bill of materials for sure. We have a lamination deck bill of material, the deck assembly, the hull lamination, hull assembly, and then once the boat comes together. So with each of those individual BOMs for all of our different models, it comes up to about 520 bill of materials that might be getting modified or updated at any given time. And as Doug was saying, just if one revision notice came out to change one part on every boat, thinking about having to go into all those different bill of materials inside of QAD, you would have to do it one at a time. And with the data loader, it allows you to update every one of them with the click of a button, essentially. So it definitely has saved time here. And then even the item master data loader, we're in the process of trying to implement a cycle count program and just going in and updating the ABC code. When we have over 20,000 parts that have to be updated, just being able to do it with the data loader saved I don't know how much time being able to do it all there instead of one by one in QAD.
I'll speak in addition to Rhonda on that. On the engineering side of it, on changes, we have a very complex configured bill of material as well, and we can use the PCO process in QAD to plan for a change, but we create and release work orders ahead of time, and once so that we could see allocated inventory. And once that gets processed, it may not be on the same date that the PCO intended for the change to happen. So we have to go back manually and change all of those records. And it's like Rhonda was talking about, it's very labor intensive. It would take several days on sometimes to actually get the system updated properly, where With the data loaders, we're able to download all of that information into the spreadsheet very quickly, review it, pick out the items that need to be changed, correct those, turn around and upload those with a push of a button. Then we can turn around and go into the work order bill of materials and update those essentially with a click of a button at the same time. So without the 32 soft loaders, it would honestly take us days to make these changes happen.
Good afternoon. My name is Kristen Brandt, and I'm a purchasing agent at G3 Boats in Lebanon, Missouri. I really enjoy using the PO Workbench, placing orders regularly with all of our vendors. Before, when I first started with G3 Boats, everything was basically handwritten, printing hundreds of pieces of paper to go through our MRP every Monday. Sometimes it would roll into Tuesdays due to the fact of how many vendors that we have that we would be placing orders for. So once the PO Workbench, was in place of that, instead of printing all those papers out, I can get my orders placed within a few hours every Monday. Now, granted, I do still print some just to make sure, I'm crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's and not missing anything from the vendors, but the PO Workbench has definitely cut down the amount of time that it takes for us to place our orders with several vendors that we have, throughout the United States. So I'm very thankful for that. It is very easy to use. Once we were, taught how to use it, we can make changes in there, like it was previously stated by someone else. If we need to go in and change a date for some parts that were ordered and we needed to pull some in closer, we might have, some of our POs might have 50 lines of items on it. Instead of manually keying through each and every single line through the QAD, we can just go into the PO Workbench, pull up that one particular PO, and change the date all at one time with just 2 or 3 clicks instead of going through 50 lines individually.
I'm Brandy with Skeeter. I do AP. Only use 32 soft for the non-PO stuff, but it has cut down about half a day to a day of just entering non-PO.
One of the systems that we use is the backflush loader. We build a lot of in-house parts, not necessarily by Kanban, but similar to a Kanban. And every week we ended up having to backflush hundreds of records to issue the raw material to the parts that we made. So we were doing those backflushes, and it was very time consuming. And here again, it would take 2 or 3 hours a day, once a week, to do these items. And with the loader, now we can do it in a matter of just 5 or 10 minutes every week.
Skeeter is also using the sales order modify for updating dates, specifically when a schedule change or something occurs and we need to update a bunch of the sales orders quickly. Ken might be able to talk to that more than I can, but I believe that that's also, it's a time-consuming effort to go into the sales order, update the sales order header, and go into each of the line items and update the dates within the line items. Using the sales order modify, they're able to mass update the sales orders very quickly, again, saving time.
We're doing the same thing at G3 as well with the sales order modify data loader, with mass changing the due dates on the sales orders in order to schedule. And we also use the production scheduler data loader from 32 Soft, and that's used every single day to create our schedules for our boats down to what line they go down.
So actually, this is Ken Ratley with Skeeter again. Actually, I am one of the users, and my other users that do it are not computer scientists, so they're minimal users, but they're able to use these data loaders very, very easily and with confidence.
We are grateful to Jet Boats. They were the first ones to start using the product, and they had a few years experience. And when it came to opportunity, we had a few problems come up or where we were seeing some bottlenecks. in talking with them, they pointed out the benefits of it. And so we were able to start using the trials. We implemented some of the trials. It's a very simple process to implement a trial. We basically load some software on the server. We provide the team that's going to be running the trial with an Excel spreadsheet, which is the data loader that most users are very familiar with Excel, so this works out very well. And they were able to test it in their own environment, see the data. One of the benefits that was kind of an added additional benefit that we have is that the data loaders also work good for some reporting. You can pull data directly into Excel in the data loader and use it for general reporting, not necessarily just transactional updates of the system. So the trials were very easy to implement and easy to test. And again, just implementing the product altogether is fairly straightforward. And as Ken pointed out, it is Excel. Most people are familiar with Excel to some extent, and they're simple to use and simple to train somebody if they're unfamiliar. There's a lot of security built into it. It works with QAD's security system, so we define the security in QAD, and it works natively with the data loaders. Generally, implementing the process is a fairly simple process, requires a short period of time, and we can hand the end user, the data loader, and they can be up and working very quickly with it. There are a couple of the data loaders that, while they worked very well, for our specific use, we needed some modifications made to them. And working with 32Soft was very quick turnaround on those changes. Some of them required iterative steps where we tested individual parts moving forward. We have some custom programs specifically. I think with the PO Workbench, we had some changes there where we have some custom programs for emailing out purchase orders and such. And so we needed to work with the team at 32Soft. It was, I think, a very positive experience. They very knowledgeable, understood our situation. We were able to identify the programs that needed to be called. Again, we went through a testing process. It worked well, and we were actually surprised at the cost. It was minimal to what we were expecting for such changes. We also, for the sales order modify, we wanted to control some of the data on what would actually be modified. And I believe we also added a couple fields that the team at 32Soft were able to modify quickly and provide the tool pretty much custom to what we needed for the application that we had for it.
We had the same experience with the production scheduling data loader as well. With the way with the way we schedule our boats, we ended up having a massive amount of customization with that loader. But Olena worked really hard on it, and everybody came together and got exactly what we needed. And it works great. We use it every day.
I can speak to that too for YJBM. This is Ashley Robinson. On the product structure maintenance data loader, it's a lot more user friendly if you're doing a where used on parts than the options in QAD. So 32Soft was able to modify that one. When we first got the data loader, you had to have access to product structure maintenance to use it, but they were able to, on the download, ping anyone with product structure inquiry access. You just can't upload unless you have maintenance access, and we have been able to share that data loader with a lot more users just for trying to do inquiries for the BOM, and I can't tell you how many people here have appreciated just that simple change 32Soft was able to do. It's been a huge help here.
This is Liella. 32Soft has been really simple to work with, and they're always really fast to get back to us when we need anything. Nancy, she's the one that usually facilitates things that we need for us here, and she's always right on it. No matter what we need, she gets it done, and you guys work really fast. We love it.
I would agree with Liela that the response time is surprising as well. When we have had issues during a trial where we were testing the product and such, or we needed modifications, Christian and Alina were very quick to respond and update the systems and provide us information. When we've been working with the trials or requesting new trials, Nancy's been able to organize those with the team there and get them to us quickly. It has been a very nice situation where we ask for something and almost immediately we have an answer or a response back. So it's been very positive. Well, initially we started off where we were just looking at one or two data loaders to improve efficiencies. And I think over the last year, we have definitely grown our use of 32Soft's products, the data loaders, immensely. I think now that individuals from the different boat companies have seen what they can do and the benefits, they are looking for different applications of those data loaders. If they're working in a certain area that seems very repetitive data entry or updates, we will look into, well, is there a data loader for this? And if there's not a data loader, is there one that 32Soft could develop for us? Actually, I can't remember, but I think you have developed a specific one for us. I'm not sure which one that was at this point because we've been through so many, but I think there was one that was developed specifically for one of our needs. There are some sales order related activities that we're currently trialing the sales order create. So that's a possible one that we look at in the future also. So I think overall, people are looking for opportunities to implement the data loaders where possible.
Like Doug said, we're all about trying to make things simpler for our people and improve their work experience and make things simpler for them. So you guys, data loaders, have really come to the rescue on some departments that were overwhelmed, like our purchasing department. You've probably saved them 10 hours a week worth of entering POs individually. So when we think about making people's jobs easier, your company, 32Soft, is really always in the back of our mind. Do they have something that can help?
Now I'll turn the time back over to 32Soft.
When we open the data loader, we see a familiar Excel spreadsheet with the addition of the data loader banner. The banner includes filtering options and action buttons, which allow us to download data from and upload data back to QAD. As soon as we select any of the action buttons for the first time, a login screen appears. In this case, we are logged in already. But, as with all 32Soft data loaders, the product structure data loader uses QAD authentication logic to validate user ID and password. Since we are logged in already, if we leave the yellow filter fields open, all product structures will be downloaded when we select the download button. The data is downloaded, and we see all the familiar fields from QAD's product structure maintenance. Because data loaders utilize standard Excel spreadsheets, we have all of Excel's functionality available. We can review our data, copy and paste cells, make any needed updates. But our clients find that creating new product structures by using existing product structures is one of the biggest benefits. Here's how easy it is to do. We simply enter the existing product structure that's close to the new one we need to create. And here we see the one we want to use as a model for the new product structure. We then change the parent item number. Now, if we want to create another parent with this structure, we select Upload. A pop-up screen displays the status of the upload and will indicate if our upload is successful or if our data contains any errors. And as we see, it does. Just like all 32Soft data loaders, the product structure loader validates data in the cells against genuine QAD logic. There are 5 validation layers built in, so an error message will be returned if any inaccurate data is submitted, as in this case. If there are errors, no data is uploaded. When we encounter errors, we close the status window and correct all errors before attempting to upload the data again. Cells that contain errors are highlighted in red. When we place the cursor in the cell, the reason for the error is displayed. So let's fix the error. Once we've created this item number, we can try our upload again. This time the status window shows our upload is successful. Next, let's take a look at how easily we can replace outdated components across the board. Suppose we want to replace this bracket with a new code. Let's check the inquiry to see components. We see how many parent items use this bracket. There are quite a few product structures. So let's copy and add it to the component field. Then select Download. Now we have all the parent items where this bracket is used. We add effective end date, and here we have the original component with an end date. And below, we have pasted the same but with the new component number and effective date. Then we simply click Upload. Our upload was successful, and we can see that all have been replaced with the new component.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Doug, Kristen, Liella, Rhonda, Brandy, Ken, Ashley, Carol, and Mike, who joined us from Yamaha as well. Thank you all so much.
We do want to let everybody know what we have coming up next. And in April, we have Masterful Production Planning with Olena, who will demonstrate how you can have instant visibility of scheduled or work order quantities, available resources and capacity, and planned demands. And then Don Lindsay returns in May to show how you can use supplementary analysis fields, SAF codes, in QAD for more robust reporting. We hope you will join us for both of these sessions. We do have yet another insight to glean from our Yamaha team. Having heard from so many members today, their enthusiasm and commitment to the company as well as each other is undeniable. So if the way your employees feel is the way your customers will feel, then it's no wonder they enjoy so much success.